Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 23 and today we are starting things off with absolutely no items, no levels and no armor. And that, my friends, is because towards the end of the previous episode of Hermitcraft, I died. Yeah, I went AFK in my base for all of about, I would say probably about 15 minutes, if that, and it turns out a zombie somehow managed to get in. Now, I don't fully understand how a zombie got in here, but I died. Oh, I see. I found it. I found the culprit. That could be the guy that actually killed me. That is such a pain in the backside. So there we go. That's probably how the zombie got in, and that's probably how the zombie killed me. But yes, unfortunately, I have no items. I've got absolutely no resources. I lost my brand new pickaxe that I got towards the end of the previous episode of Hermitcraft, and I'm a tiny bit cheesed off. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to grab some items. We're going to have to take them over to the XP grinder, and we're basically going to have to do a bunch of resource gathering. But speaking of resource gathering, towards the end of the episode, the previous one, I actually did a bunch more, and I managed to get myself a ton of compressed ice. So we now have loads and loads of compressed ice ready to complete the power beam that we started last time. I tell you what, guys, it is just starting to dawn on me just how many items I managed to lose there. I've lost my full diamond armor, I've lost my silk touch pickaxe, my sword, my axe, and my shovel. I've lost my X-bow, which is just complete rubbish because that thing cost me 12 diamonds, so that's really annoying. And of course, as I said, my full diamond armor. So yeah, a ton of stuff has gone missing. And it's always just, it's so rubbish in Minecraft when that sort of thing happens. I was just AFK for a couple minutes, but that was enough to do the damage. Anyway, here we are in the familiar location. Let's set all of these to XP mode and grab ourselves some levels. Not taking any chances today, absolutely none whatsoever. Do not want to be losing that. So my crafting is pretty much almost completed, just got to craft up myself a shovel. And there we go. Now, everything that I've put through this enchanting table so far has either said Bane of Arthropods or Unbreaking 3. So let's see. I mean, what is a man meant to do? What is a man meant to do? I'm fairly certain maybe the chest plate said Thorns. I mean, let's just give that a bash. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, that's gone better than expected. Hopefully we get luckier next time. I'm going to do the full lot right now, and then I'll show you my progress. Okay guys, so my enchanting session has now been finished, and as you can see right here, we have got a bunch of really awesome bits. We've got Protection 3, Unbreaking 3, Respiration 3 on the head, we've got Protection 4, Thorns 2 on the chest, we have got Protection 4 on the legs, and also my boots are back on my RV, which of course are Walker, not Frost Walker, but the other one that you can walk in water, and also Protection 4, so that's a good set of diamond armor. We've got a handful of pickaxes. This is like my standard pickaxe that I've brought along with me. I didn't actually end up enchanting that diamond pickaxe or that sword because we have got these things right here where we've got Looting 3, Unbreaking 3, not too bad, Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4 on the shovel, and Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 5 on my axe, which is, yeah, that's okay. I mean, that's like, the thing is that I really shouldn't have had to do that. And it's really frustrating that I managed to die during that little AFK session that I did there for 15 minutes, just at the bottom of my base. Had no idea that zombies could spawn up there. And it's essentially just taken up a bunch of time in which I could have spent building my power beam. But anyway, we're going to head over there now. We're going to gather up some resources, and we're actually going to start constructing this. So here we are. If you missed the previous episode of Hermitcraft, this right here is the power beam. Now, this is essentially a propulsion system for my base, so this is like propelling this base up into the sky, because a lot of you have been asking for like rotors or jets to come down from here, but I didn't think they'd look that good, so I thought I'd do one from the bottom, which I think looks pretty cool, and this is essentially what we did in the previous episode of Hermitcraft. Now, we filled in all of this space right here, but the other ones are planned out, they're just not filled, as you can see, and this is what we're going to be doing. So we are going to fill in that section, that section, and that section. And the first thing that I'm going to do in today's episode is, of course, I'm going to fill this section right here. And I'm going to do that one in progress updates. Then I reckon the rest of it is going to be in a third-person time-lapse, just so you can get a rough idea of the scale and just the size of this thing, because this is a bit of a tricky build. It's such an odd shape to build in Minecraft. I feel like I haven't done the best job with this one, really, but it looks good enough for me. But yeah, it's a difficult shape to build, so it's an interesting one, and it's going to involve a lot of mistakes, especially because these two now have to match up. So I'm going to crack on, and then we'll see how far we can get. Not a good start. I have forgotten all of my scaffolding blocks. Oh, I worry about myself sometimes. And straight away, I have managed to mess up the build instantly. Almost instantly, I've managed to mess it up, wasting a bunch of ice So that needs to be there. That needs to go there. That needs to go there. And then that is a tour, I think. Yes. And then if we come over here. Okay, right. I think that's fixed. I just don't know. These things look very, very complicated. And it's very difficult to look at 2 screens at once. You have no idea how many mistakes I've already made in this little section right here. I have rebuilt this entire area twice. And have I made another mistake? What I've done, basically, is I have my second account open on the right-hand screen, which is right here. I have my main account in the middle screen, and I've got a screenshot of what this thing is meant to look like on the left-hand screen. And I'm sort of looking at all 3 of them all at once. I need a third eye. I need one right in the middle of my forehead so that I can concentrate on everything. Anyway, looks like I'm about to die, so let's hop back. Times like these, I am really regretting not lighting up the underside of this place. I mean, it is basically turned into a giant mob spawner. But I'm going to keep pushing on. Progress is good. Probably about 1/6 of the way up there. It's going well. What is that noise? What's going on? Huh? What was that? Does anyone know what that was? What was that? I don't think I've ever heard that noise before. I basically jumped out my pants and chair. Well, that was, cool, I guess. Yeah. I'll leave you guys to that one. Please let me know down in the comment section if my computer is haunted or not. Strange dubstep haunting. So guys, bit of an interesting fact about the audio of this clip. I'm actually recording this audio after I finished recording the entire video of Hermitcraft, but the video footage is from when I had just finished building this thing. Yeah, very, very strange indeed. Basically what happened is I must have knocked my microphone or something like that, and unfortunately that meant that the audio for that specific clip, only that clip, was really rubbish. It had like a hum in the background and all that sort of thing, so I thought it wasn't worth having in the video. So I've done a post commentary for this one clip right here, which I know is very strange. Reminds me of the Call of Duty days when I used to do that. But anyway, as you can see, this is now completed and it is looking awesome. We have got half of the cone all in place. It took a very long time indeed. It's very challenging to build this because, of course, we made some slightly strange decisions on the first quarter, which I thought looked good, and they do look good, but they're not sort of uniform with what you would expect. So they're not what you would naturally go about building. They've had to be like manually done, and that means it's quite hard to remember how to build it. It's very hard to remember how to build it. So I've had to snoop around with my second account. I've had to take screenshots and look at those. It's tough. It is a challenge, and we have the whole other half to go, which we are now going to crack on with. Now, I've decided that we're going to be doing this in a third-person time-lapse because that seems like the best way of doing things, and I've also done like a bit of a Q&A session, which I'm sure all of you are going to enjoy. So let's crack on with that one, and we're going to get everything completed. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be doing a bit of a different time-lapse chat because it's going to be a slightly longer one. But I have decided to do a bit of a question and answer session. Now, this is something that a lot of you have been asking down in the comment section. Can you do question and answer sessions during your time-lapse chat? And that is a brilliant idea, I have to say, because sometimes when I go into a time-lapse chat, I'm like, you know what, this thing that I'm going to talk about is interesting. I find it interesting, but maybe you guys won't find it that interesting, especially if I waffle on about it for like 2 or 3 minutes. I can imagine that some of you are going to get bored. Well, this should hopefully solve the problem, because the things that I'm talking about are things that you guys want me to talk about, or at least a handful of you want me to talk about. And I've been asking these questions on Twitter. If you do want to get involved with these Q&As, then make sure to follow me on Twitter. There'll be links to that down in the description. But I'm going to be answering 10 questions today, and all of them are really, really interesting questions. There's a wide variety of various different things in there, and a bunch of different topics that I'm going to get my teeth into. So let's begin with the first one from Official Nucky. Now, they have asked, if you could fly your drone through anyone's window and spy on them, who would it be? Now, that is a very, very good question. I sort of sat back for a little while and I thought about this. 2 people sort of came to mind. The first one came into mind straight away, and that's partly because it's currently her birthday today, and that is the Queen. I would really love to see just what the Queen does in her day-to-day stuff, you know, because you always see the Queen out, she's waving, she's on her balcony, or she's just out and about talking to people, always being the Queen, you know, she's always doing Queen stuff. That's the only time that you ever see the Queen. it would be really interesting to see the Queen as a normal person, you know, just doing the dishes, or not on the loo. I was going to say on the loo, but I don't want to see the Queen on the loo. But you know what I mean? Just seeing like average, everyday bits and bobs the Queen gets up to, that would be something that I'd find really interesting. So yeah, the Queen is one of them, but I highly doubt I could fly my drone through the Buckingham Palace windows without some serious security alarms going off and me probably being arrested or shot, probably both. So yeah, the Queen's probably out of the question, but also I was thinking people that are like generally considered to be really cool, and it's for a similar reason to the Queen. People like, you know, like Daniel Craig, like James Bond, the guy that plays James Bond, if you're wondering, Daniel Craig, or other well-known cool people, just to see them do like average bits and pieces when they're not being all cool. I think that would be really interesting to see. Maybe I'm just a boring person. Let me know down in the comment section who you would spy on for a day if you could. But anyway, thank you for the question. That's absolutely brilliant, and it really got me thinking. Moving on to the next one, which is who inspired you to make Minecraft videos? And that is from Abdullah Kashif. I hope I've said your name correctly. Now, that's another really good question. I would have to say the Yogscast was someone that I really early on started watching. There were lots of people in the Call of Duty community, people like CNanners, people like even like Optic Hex, the guy that originally ran Optic. He did like a Minecraft video, and I was like, that looks interesting, you know, I want to check that out. But also just people at my school, and I know that sounds strange, but you know, they got me into Minecraft, and it was a natural progression from playing Minecraft to making videos of Minecraft, because I was already making videos of Call of Duty at the time in another channel, which I might link down in the description if I remember. So it was sort of like a natural progression from Call of Duty videos to the Minecraft ones, and it went really well. And then I stopped making the Call of Duty ones, I started making the Minecraft ones properly, and I devoted all of my time to that. So that's basically how that all went down. And as I say, yeah, there wasn't anyone who specifically inspired me, but I would have to say that the Yogscast was some of the early videos I watched, and some of the people that I aspired to be like, because their video quality was just so insanely good. But next question comes from Owl Talons, and they said, what does a day look like for you? So that is basically like, what's a day in the life of Mumbo? I wake up relatively early, I sort of have my shower, have my breakfast and things like that, usually a small breakfast. Then I would tend to go to the gym. That's definitely something that I like to do in the mornings. So I'll go to the gym, I will pop back, and I will then start recording videos. Now that can be pretty much anything. It could either be working on the redstone contraptions ready for the video, so I wouldn't technically be recording a video right then, but I would be working on a video, so I'd be building the redstone contraptions, or I'd be planning out Hermitcraft episodes, and generally speaking that would take like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then I would actually start work on videos, generally a Hermitcraft episode. I work on Hermitcraft episodes throughout the week, so I would record for maybe 2 or 3 hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours, depending on what I'm doing. Then after that, I will sort of respond to comments, I will respond to emails and things like that, and then I'll probably do another little mini recording session, maybe like an hour or two, and then that takes me to around about the time where my video releases. So then I will read through the comments of the most recent video, I'll try my best to respond to people, and then in the evenings I will just chill out, probably watch some YouTube, and then maybe see Vicky or something like that. So my whole day pretty much relies around YouTube and just revolves around the whole YouTube sphere. So I spend a lot of time on the computer essentially, which is good and also bad, but mostly good because I find it really enjoyable. Now I just realised I have spent a ton of time talking right there. I've sort of waffled on quite a bit, and we've only done 3 questions so far. We've got 7 more to go. So first off, does your family like your job? And that is from Josham. Yes, they do. They love it. They think it's awesome. They think it's a wicked job. And there's tons of opportunities that have opened up for me. I was recently in the New York Times magazine, which is something that just has never happened to anyone in my family before, and it certainly wasn't expected to happen with me. I wasn't expecting that at all, but I was in that, and obviously just everything, really everything, just being able to make videos for a living of something that I really enjoy is an epic thing. And yes, my family absolutely love it, even if some of them don't fully understand what it is that I do and how it's become a job, but that's besides the point. Will you do videos with Seen Through Glass? And that's from Maxin. Seen Through Glass is a car YouTuber, one of my favourite YouTubers, absolutely fantastic videos, and I would love to. In fact, I would love to do videos with anyone in the car community. If anyone from the car community is watching, then let me know. And I know that they want to do videos with me, but unfortunately we just haven't sort of been able to meet up or chat about any video ideas or anything like that. But I'm sure that's on the cards in the future. Obviously they're all out in the Alps at the minute, having a fantastic time, so I guess it's going to have to be after that one. But the next question comes from lots of people, and they said, why did you not fight the Ender Dragon? Simple, it's because I was moving into my new house, and it really did suck. I really didn't like it, but unfortunately, it was on the day that I was moving in, which meant that I just had no time. I couldn't come back, and I couldn't record. I wasn't able to record. So I do apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen. I would have loved to have been there, and I do plan on doing a lot more collaborations in the future, but the minute, just everything is so hectic that I haven't been able to arrange anything with any of the other hermits, but there's still plenty of time for that in the future. Can you do a draw my life? Has been asked a ton of times over the course of my YouTube channel, but this time it has been asked by Sharon Jenks. The short answer is yes, I could do one, but unfortunately I'm terrible at drawing, and that is something that I would really want to devote a lot of time to. Like, I would really want to make sure that I had everything laid out, I had like a full script, I knew what I was going to talk about, I knew what I was going to mention, because otherwise if I don't spend time on it, I'm going to forget things, and it would quite simply be like school, college, YouTube. That is basically how it would go, and I want to talk a little bit more in depth. But it would probably end up being a very long video, and the drawings would be terrible, and the chances are I would make it really boring. So that's why I've sort of been apprehensive, but I might do one of those in the future, maybe when I have a tiny bit more time to devote to it. Now, the next question comes from, once again, quite a few people, but this time it was from Anna Del Rosario, who said, are you still working on your games? In short, I am, sort of, maybe not-ish. I'm trying my best, but I have had no time to work on them over the past 2 months or so, and by them I mean my one slightly rubbish game. It takes me so long to do anything in these games because obviously I'm a complete beginner, but I love the thought of it and I really want to get it finished, and I've been doing some playtesting and things like that with my buds. They love it, so yeah, we're gonna try and work something out. I'm gonna try my best to basically get it completed and finished up and published somewhere, probably on the App Store, on the Android and on Apple and on Windows phones maybe. So yeah, you can look forward to that at some point, probably in the near future, maybe. I know I've said that a lot of times. Next question is from everyone who said, do you have a girlfriend? I've actually mentioned this before, but yes, I do. Her name is Vicky. She's absolutely lovely, and I really enjoy spending time with her. So that's all going well. That part of my life is going fantastically. And if you didn't do YouTube, what would you do? And that is from Zemelo. Now, that's another good question. I was, and still sort of am going to university to do computer science. Now, I don't actually know if I'm going this year. I might end up deferring it to go for another year because this YouTube thing is going far better than I expected, and it's a very interesting job, probably the best job I'm ever going to have. So, computer science is the short answer to that. But also, you know, I've been thinking recently, I really enjoy making videos and being creative, and I don't know if you've seen some of the real life videos that I've been doing recently. I say real life videos, but the ones that I actually film and things like that, I have a lot of fun making those. So maybe I might go into that sort of realm after YouTube, or even during YouTube, just get like a freelance job doing that sort of thing. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, if I wasn't doing YouTube, it would either be something to do with filmmaking or something to do with computer science. Two very different realms of the career world, but two fairly interesting ones. But anyway, that rounds up today's question and answer session. I hope that you enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun to record. Now let's pop back onto the Hermitcraft server. So guys, after a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of hair pulling, a lot of destroying, rebuilding, reconstructing, planning, mathematics, circle generating, as you can see right here, our power beam is all done and dusted, and it looks ridiculous. Doesn't that look ridiculous? That is a crazy build. I don't think I've ever built anything like that in Minecraft ever before. Seriously, I think this is the first time that I've ever created anything like this. And it looks mad. Like when we scale it up next to some of the other builds on the server, like we've got, I mean obviously these aren't the biggest builds on the server, and there are some crazy builds over here, so we're going to ignore those. We're going to ignore those entirely. But it's a big thing. It is. I mean, the circle down the bottom is 55 blocks in diameter. Obviously this, I think, was 100 or maybe 70 blocks tall. It was 150 blocks in diameter. Or was it 170 blocks in diameter for the ellipse going up here? Which means that it would be half of that. That would be the height of our... I don't know, okay? I don't know how tall the power beam is. All I know is it looks pretty good. It looks like it's been generated by a computer. All 4 quarters are exactly the same, which is amazing considering I built it, and I'm pretty slapdash for that sort of thing. So I'm super impressed with myself. Here it is, the power beam. It is a little bit dark though. I mean, it could definitely do with some lighting up. Maybe, just maybe, I could grab myself some sea lanterns. Would probably be a good idea. So I just popped it into the shopping district to see if anyone was selling any sea lanterns, and by the look of things, it is a work in progress. It looks like Iskall is in the process of setting up a Guardian-based shop, which is good. I like that. I like it when people provide supplies for me in return for diamonds and things, because I have a load of diamonds. I don't have a load of resources, so that works well for me. Hello, Iskar, the man himself who is building this shop. But yeah, this place looks brilliant, but that does mean that I'm going to need a bunch more Guardian supplies. So we're actually going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. We're going to have to go out and gather them ourselves. So over here we can see Exumavoid's Guardian Farm. Now, I have to say, this looks all very confusing, and it also looks a little bit new. I don't think the video in which he builds all of this stuff has actually been released on YouTube just yet for me. However, it might have been for you. I hope it has been, because otherwise I am spoiling some pretty serious bits and pieces. But this is the Guardian Farm. Now, I don't know if it's fully operational just yet. There are skeleton horses down there and a bunch of bits going on. But I have seen in his videos that there are some drops making their way through into the chest. I just don't know if it's all of them. I'm basically going to take a peek around, try and work this thing out, and then I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Well, so much for doing things the old-fashioned way. We're AFK for around about 5 minutes, and then suddenly, sea lanterns started falling from the sky. I'm joking. It was Exumavoid. He's up here. He came by, and he's given us 1.5 stacks of sea lanterns, which is extremely nice of him. So thank you ever so much. And as you can see, all of these are actually working really, really wonderfully. I mean, seriously, there is loads of stuff going through. I know that Iskar is setting up his shop soon, so this should be rocking and rolling. But to say thank you, I think I am going to AFK here for just a little while to gather up some items and things. We'll do that later on, but first off, we have got to pepper our giant power beam. Now, I'm going to try my best to do this completely randomly, just chucking in the sea lanterns wherever, trying my best to light up the entire thing and work out where I actually want these things to go. To be honest though, randomly placing blocks in Minecraft doesn't seem to be my thing. I seem to be really, really bad at it. I tend to put massive clusters of blocks in— Whoa, no! Oh. I give up. I just give up. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. I'll see you later.